go, Sean, but this seems to have a little delay in getting us live for some strange reason. Hopefully, we'll be live soon. Unless it's one of the ones where you're talking. I'm going to try it on the other stream that we've got set up. Are you logged in?
No, I'm not.
Guys, we don't swear. We don't slag anybody off. You have basically had a little glimpse behind the curtain as to what we talk about here, because it's telling me that we're not live, but we are. So there you go. Sean, we don't curse and swear and slag anybody off. Welcome to Celtic State of Mind. It's half time. I'm Paul John Dykes. This is Sean Conley. And we're playing Falkirk. Everybody in the comments, have a good laugh. Why not? That's what it's all about. We're 1-0 up. What's your thoughts on the first 45?
It has been a very even first half of football. I'd imagine some people are frustrated to be playing an evenly matched game of football at Celtic Park against a team who were in League One not 2 years ago. But it is an even game, and the difference has been even in chances, possession, in many aspects. The difference in the teams at the half has been the quality of two players. One, Kasper Schmeichel, and that save he makes from the header, and two, Vanchara, who in the quality of the header he makes that cannot be saved by Scott Bain. So pretty even chances, and one of them is saved by the highly paid Danish international goalkeeper, and one is scored by our new forward striker, a new loan signing, Vanchara, who Peter Grant is not even attempting to say the name of, quite hilariously.
Just keeps calling him Tomas.
Tomas, yeah. But yeah, like it's a very evenly matched game. In those two, the differences in quality that our resources that allow us to get players of better quality, and that's been the difference. I think if you're looking at our performance, you could say that Araujo has had a very good game. We've defended reasonably well, and where we've been poor is the final third. I think I had down a note of about 5 times where we got into or on the edge of the box, and our low cross cutbacks found no one, which has been quite frustrating. And then there was a couple other times where we had like back post crosses, again, to no one, and it had to go to a new phase of play. So our quality in the final third has been particularly poor, and that's where the frustration has been. I think the main culprits have actually been Yang and Maeda, even though Yang has been quite industrious and he's been taking on quite a lot of players and doing well in that sense, but his end products, along with Maeda's, has been poor, and has been the kind of point where it breaks down in our play.
Without a doubt. I mean, I'm looking at that first half, and absolutely Kasper Schmeichel makes an important save. You and I spoke about the fact that he's still dividing opinion to a degree in relation to his performances at the moment. However, I would suggest that there's been a save or two in just about every game since, obviously, Martin O'Neill came back. I don't think he was happy under Nancy. I don't think he was happy at being exposed so much, but also the expectancy for him to be playing balls into the wingers constantly. He changed his style and clearing the ball and all that. He seems so much more comfortable, and that was an important save. In relation to other performers, I'm going to bring this one up here. Very much agree with this coming in from Michael. Michael Barry says we should do everything. I'll tell you something. See, for his ball retention, Sean, no matter where he is so good at keeping retaining the ball. Always looks for a positive pass. He's strong. He's a strong wee unit, and I think we'll see him mixing it a bit, and that's something, a quality in Scottish football. He's not scared to deploy that, the dark arts if necessary. I totally agree with you on Engels. I'm his biggest fan. He was virtually anonymous in that first half, and I think a lot of people are coming in saying that James Kirwan, is Engels even on the park? He has done nothing in the half. His corners haven't been good enough. That's the one thing that we always shout from the rooftops. He's great at the set pieces. They've not been good enough on the left-hand side, unfortunately, failing to get past the first man. And we can go on about Vanchara not being a target man. That goal that he scores, great ball by KT. I'll need to check this, but I think that's him up to something like a 11 goal contribution this season in 34, 35 games. Very, very good contribution from left back. But I'll tell you what a finish. The glancing header from the big fella who is being called by Paddy Lavery Big John Vinegar from Castle Milk. I'm not sure if it's his height, but he does put me in mind of Jan Vinegar of Hesselink. I'm liking what I see from the big guy. He likes to mix it up. He's obviously got the height, but he's got the strength, even though he looks pretty slim. He doesn't have the huge big build, but he is quite a strong, imposing striker, and he gets his goal. But a big shout out to KT. I mean, he's been playing balls in like that all season, Sean.
If the source I'm looking at is correct, that's his 12th goal contribution, 9th assist of the season. So it's a good, and I believe he's our highest paid player, but he definitely delivers the quality at times. There was points in that first half where I was thinking about the poor end product from Maeda and Yang and wondering if we could deploy KT as a left winger. But then who's the left back with no one else? So, and I don't know if that, I know Arteta fancied him as a left winger, and I don't know if that, I think people took that as a comment that he couldn't defend, but maybe looking at the way he's been contributing so far this season, taking corners, for example, it was more a reflection of the fact that he has a very good end product. Something that we've not been too strong with in recent games. I agree about Engels, but in the sense that, but I actually think we talked about this before the match, that he's been looking tired in recent games, and I think he looks tired again today. And if it was me, I'd actually bring Bernardo on at halftime. I think he looked decent when he came on midweek, and I think Bernardo is looking tired, so I would be making that change given the opportunity. And on the comment of Araujo, I agree. He is probably been the best player on the pitch. But what's interesting is when you think back to like the old Pro Evo and FIFA days, your players would have stats for short passes and long passes. And what I find interesting about Araujo is that his long passes down the channel have been excellent, and he's put 2 great balls in behind in the channel today that really unlocked the defence. But I feel like when he gets further forward, his crosses into the box are not as good. So I think there's maybe, which is interesting, because the point I'm trying to make about Pro Ev is like the computer games would make the distinction as a long pass is a long pass, whereas I think for Araujo, his channel balls are great and his balls into the box are not quite as good, even though they're 2 different forms of the long pass. So, but yes, can we get him to stay? Look, we were making the same shouts about Jeffrey Schlupp in February last year, so I'll reserve that statement, but so far so good from that man. He is looking every bit our best right back at the moment, and a fine contributor.
I think one of the passes, just to back up your point, was one that he played into Fanchara, and he was unable to do anything with it. He just glanced at his chest, I think, and he was shouting at Araujo to play it, and more or less for him to run onto. He played it too directly into the box. We've got Jim Irvin coming in. Keep the comments coming in. We're a goal up. We're happy, and we're also looking at the other game that's happening at the moment. It's saying 95 minutes. Don't know if you've still got an eye on it, Sean, but it's still Hibs 0, Rangers 0. What amount of additional time have been added?
6 minutes. 6 minutes. And Hibs are on the attack, but there's been a sensational number of chances at both ends of the pitch, and Mikey Moore had a goal correctly chopped off for offside. So it's been it's been a 0-0 game, but it's not been a 0-0 game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ones we said before the game. You're going into every weekend at the moment, and it's a position we've put ourselves in. And it's a position Hearts have put themselves in, and Rangers, when you look at the disastrous start to their season, whereby you are looking for favours. You're looking for points to be dropped. And I looked at Easter Road today, and I put it in actually in our chat group this morning. Hopefully it's following a 1-1 draw. Any draw would do. So if it's a scoreless draw, I'll be happy with that. And obviously we need to see this out ourselves as well. Let someone else hit the corner, says Jim. And we've also got HRI Moore, Big Tam to the rescue. Yes, the sound of silence. Also, yes. It's one of the ones where every so often they burst into song, and it is mainly against the board. That is where we are at the moment, with another day left of the transfer window. We'll do our usual 12:30 tomorrow, our Acsom bulletin, and then I'll have a look at times in relation to whether or not there should be maybe a 1-hour countdown to the window slamming shut, and whether or not we get any reaction to that as well, Sean. But we really shouldn't be in this position. Halves like that there, right? And obviously we played Falkirk recently in Falkirk. We win the game 1-0, Nygren scores a goal. There's been a few results like this where you're looking at Celtic going, God, we're not great. We need an injection of quality. And somehow Martin and his coaching team have managed to get the results, and I hope we managed to get the result today. But it does not mask our deficiencies, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't. And look, other teams have been signing players. I think there's 7 or 8 teams in the league have signed more players than us, and we've signed 2 on loan. I will just give you a quick update. It was finished 0-0 at Easter Road, so
Nice.
That's 1 point gained for Sevco, wherever you look at it. And so we need to do our business today, since Hearts did theirs yesterday. And we keep saying there's a lot of games left. But I think we're in a position. How many games are left after today? Is this the 25th game? So there's 13 games left after today.
Yeah.
2 against Sevco, 1 against Hearts. Obviously, we need to take care. We need to focus on Falkirk today. We need to take care of that business today. But then we also need to consider the fact that we are still behind, and we're going to have to pick up points in these harder games. And we need more depth and more quality to do that, and to also challenge in Europe. Because so far in 5 games against the 2 teams above us, we've picked up 2 points out of 5 games, 2 points out of possible 15. And that's where we're at this season. And so if we want to try and go again with the same squad and try and play those games again, we're going to get the same results, which means we're not going to make up ground. So we need to make up the ground off the pitch in order to make up the ground on the pitch. I mentioned earlier about the poor quality in the final third. That's where we're missing people like Jota in particular. Where we're missing having Diaz and Maeda on form, where these poor investments in Balikwisha and Tuneki are coming to the fore, where our goal scoring tally from last season has dropped off precipitously after losing Kyogo and Kun. And it's no surprise, right? The guys that couldn't deliver last year are now being relied upon and are not delivering this year. And the 2 loan players that come in look above what we've got. So it's the squad is not in a good state, and we are not taking decisive, expedient, or at the moment long-term effective corrective action to remedy that. It's as at the moment, I know we're half-time against Falkirk and we should be focusing on that, but it's deadline day tomorrow, and that's all I'm going to say, because that was only 2 minutes to the next half, and I could keep going.
No, you could, and we will, and we'll do that tomorrow. In relation to that, you bring in the freshness, Sean, and then you get 1 or 2 coming back from injury, and then you get a head of steam, and it's the momentum between now and the end of the season. Like you say, we need to start winning some of these big games. The league table still has Celtic sitting third, virtue of goal difference. We're a goal behind the Rangers in the goal difference stake. We are actually 9 behind Hearts. So again, another opportunity in the second half to try and start chipping away at that. I agree with you. I mean, the first 10, 15 minutes, it was all Falkirk. Falkirk had us on the back foot. I think the next 15 minutes, we started coming into the game a little bit more. But there's been chances at both ends. And there was a corner kick where it was something of a, for want of a better expression, if there is such a better word, stramash in the 6-yard box. Yeah. And Casper was just glad to get his frame over the ball. And we've had a few moments like that. So it's by no means a done deal that we're winning this game. But if we do start to get a bit of a rhythm and get another couple of goals, we need to also start chipping into the goal difference, Sean, because I can see, I think best case scenario is we're still here talking about a possibility of winning the league on the last day of the season. And if that's the case, goal difference comes into it. So we need to focus on that as well. Now, the teams are just about to come back onto the park for the second half. So go and enjoy the second half action and join us at full time once again on A Celtic State of Mind.
Well,